How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about this whole Jeffrey Epstein situation, which is a crazy story, and there's a lot to quote-unquote unpack here, as the cool kids would say. But before we even get into it, I got to back up a little bit here to explain who this guy, Jeffrey Epstein, is, what he has been quote-unquote accused. I can't say he actually did it yet because he's only been accused under the law. What he's been accused of doing, who he's been linked to personally and professionally, and much more. But let's start from the very beginning. This guy, Epstein, is a New Yorker, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, Coney Island to be exact. He rose through the ranks of Bear Stearns investment bank and then started his own firm, which is based in the Virgin Islands of the U.S. He manages hedge funds for a living. He is a billionaire. He has endless resources, basically. Now, what he's been accused of doing is abusing underage girls. I think one of them was as young as 14. You know, there could be some that are younger, but all I know right now is that the youngest one was 14 years old, but we'll move on. To go to where his business is headquartered, which is in the Virgin Islands, he has a private jet called the Lolita Express. Now, this jet is key because this is apparently where some of the underage girls were abused, and it's also apparently where he would fly some girls to certain places to abuse them, or where he would go to get with certain girls to abuse them. Okay, it's key to the whole situation. Now, Slick Willie, Bill Clinton, the former president, Hillary Clinton's husband, he allegedly, or really according to court documents, which I placed on the description box below, he had been on this Lolita Express 26 times. Okay, sometimes he did not have a Secret Service detail with him. So why are you on this plane where all these underage sex acts are allegedly happening if you're not engaged in it as well? Okay, that puts him right in the center of the controversy. Now, the media will report the story as Jeffrey Epstein, accused sexual abuser, former friend of Donald Trump and Bill Clinton. So they're trying to put Trump and Clinton on the same page with each other, but that's not really the case. Okay. Yes, Trump may have known who he was, but he put out a statement and said that they weren't friends and they did not really socialize together. It just wasn't really that kind of situation. He had been to Mar-a-Lago, but Trump apparently had banned him from Mar-a-Lago because he tried to approach an underage girl there. That's what I've been reading. And again, I'll put everything in the description box below. Trump was not on this charter of this private jet that Jeffrey Epstein had at all, not one time, but Bill Clinton was there 26 times. So if you want to put Trump and Slick Willie on the same level of friendship as, you know, each other with Jeffrey Epstein, it doesn't make any sense because according to documents, that's just not the case. All right. This case is big because it had been going on for a long time. I mean, I've been hearing about it, you know, on the internet, especially. People try to say, oh, it's a conspiracy theory, this, that, and the third. No, it's not a conspiracy theory. We have documents. OK, he has been arrested by the federal government. All right. He was on a plane from Paris to Manhattan and got arrested as soon as he touched down on the tarmac. They got him right away. So this has been going on for a while. They have been investigating him. And I got to back up a little bit more here to explain how he has been charged. In 2008, he went to jail for this, but at the same time, he didn't. And I'll explain. He had reached some kind of deal that prevented him from being prosecuted for certain crimes that he had been charged with. And he pled down to a lesser charge, which only gave him like a year in prison. But it wasn't even really a year in prison. It was almost like weekend jail, if that makes any sense. What he would do is 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. He could just go to his office and sometimes even fly away to Virgin Islands and Florida and stuff like that. Maybe even New Mexico. He would just be required to come back to jail, maybe just sleep there. And that's pretty much it. And I think one day a week he had to just stay the whole day in the jail. But basically he was given some kind of weekend jail, work release type situation. You know, it was a halfway punishment. And it was only for a year. In that deal, he signed a non-prosecutorial agreement, but that deal was found out to be void. And I think that was in Florida. So now New York is charging him with the sex crimes again, because again, this happened probably in U.S. Virgin Islands, Florida, New York, and New Mexico. New York says, okay, Let's get him right now. I think for them to find that deal that was in Florida void and not valid and bring him up on charges means that he probably actually get locked up here rather than doing the whole billionaire thing, flexing your money power, flexing your lawyer power, and squirming your way out of it. Okay, because regardless of politics, regardless of left, right, whatever, this guy should just be in the penitentiary. I mean, see, he's a disgusting person. And then what about Slick Willie? You on this plane 26 times. What were you doing? Okay, we know about how he gets down in the Oval Office. Now, she was of age, but he could be dealing with some underage girls as well. And not only Slick Willie, you have other people that may be involved that we don't know about. All right. If you have a private jet, you're not just flying yourself all the time. You're probably flying a lot of other people that are very influential, very wealthy, maybe some other politicians. Who knows? If you got the president on your jet 26 times, who else is on there? All right. Why would Slick Willie know him? He's not from New York. He's from Arkansas, Little Rock. So why are you on the plane with him? What's really going on? And at one point in time, wasn't Hillary Clinton a senator in New York? And I think Slick Willie had an office in Harlem. So what's going on here? That's what I want to know. I want to know what Bill Clinton did, what others did. And as far as Trump, we don't see any evidence that Trump was on his plane or anything like that. He actually banned this guy from Mar-a-Lago from trying to come on to a young girl. So obviously he does not like what this guy's doing. Now, some would say Trump should have had him arrested back then when this, alleged attempt to get an underage girl happened in Mar-a-Lago. But what are you really going to do? The federal government had him in 2008, locked him up for a year, but barely even got him in jail at all. The crimes that he was charged with or accused of back then should have warranted an actual sentence in prison, not just, you can go to your office, you can go on your private jet, do whatever you want to do while you're in jail. I mean, what kind of jail is that? That's a slap on the wrist for a guy like that. You understand what I'm saying? You're barely even going to the penitentiary. He needs to do some real time. You're talking about life behind bars, which I think he could be facing here. I'm not sure how many girls were abused. Hundreds, thousands, who knows? When you have those kind of resources and you have the ability to be protected like that, when the former president is your friend and is on a plane with you, just like what Bill Clinton did when his wife was being investigated by the FBI for their whole email kerfuffle. This man intercepted a plane on a tarmac with the Attorney General, Loretta Lynch, on it and said, yo, I need you to go ahead and stop that. Now, I added the part at the end, but he did intercept the plane. He did get on the plane for a half hour and talk to her on the tarmac. He boarded the plane from the tarmac, not even from the terminal, you understand, and spoke to her for a half hour. Talking about we spoke about golf. Really? Why do you need to go on the plane, on the tarmac, not even let it hook up to the terminal and talk about golf? I mean, let's be real. We're going to see a lot more of these people get exposed. Once you see all these court documents that are unsealed and people that are associated with them, people that have been on that plane, Lolita Express, you're going to see some really crazy things start to unfold, and I'm here for it. If it's not covered up yet again by the government, by big power people, by big lawyer people, when you got that kind of money, $1 billion or more, it can be difficult to have anything done to you. Either you have a bunch of money or a bunch of power and influence. Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, money plus power and influence. Jeffrey Epstein, a bunch of money, maybe less power and influence, but you get power and influence by having these people as your friends have power and influence, like a Bill Clinton. So I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what do you think? Do you think Jeffrey Epstein will go to the penitentiary because of these sex crime allegations? I'm not sure, like I said, how many girls had been abused, assaulted, or whatever you want to call it. Hundreds, thousands, who knows? I know that it's far too many from what I've been reading. I think it went on for like 3 or 4 years, from like 2002 to 2005, 2006. Very long time. What's going to be the result? Will it be the same thing happened in Florida where he gets like a year, slap on the wrist, weekend jail, or will it be penitentiary time? I think there will be some kind of prosecution that is successful, because if you were able to find that no prosecution agreement in Florida invalid and just, say, oh, we're not going to do that. While he has all these high powered lawyers, people that he pays to do things like that, to be right and exact and not have any kind of problems. If that's found invalid, I think there's going to be some serious charges that stick and are actually able to be executed against Jeffrey Epstein. What about Donald Trump? Do you think the media will say, well, he was Trump's friend, they were at Mar-a-Lago together, they hung out, they were besties, and he is guilty as well? It makes sense because he had been accused before. That will probably be the narrative, but will it stick? There's no evidence from what I've seen that will link Donald Trump to him as far as any kind of crimes that were committed. But Bill Clinton, on the other hand, like I said, 26 times on the Lolita Express, that can't really be disputed, but I'll leave that right there for now. And whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.